Hey everybody, welcome back to the Print 3D channel. Today is September 26th, and that means day 269 of the 3DP 365 project. And on today's episode, we revisit the PLActron Vase Delta by printing out the REMIX, the guitar pick vase. And we still had some problems, so stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thank you for joining me here for day 269 of the 3DP 365 project. If you recall from yesterday's episode, we printed out the PLActron Vase Delta, and it was a major fail. And the fact that there's something wrong with the geometry, or it just isn't printing the way it should. There are successful prints up on Thingiverse, but there's also prints that look like they might have had problems. There's comments saying that they had problems in Slicer. So we pretty much scrapped this, and I was going to move on. But one of my subscribers, we'll just call him Brian, he actually ran the file through Mesh Mixer and he said it looks okay. So I was very tempted to do the same thing. But I thought first, let's print out, and I'm going to put this down, let's print out the guitar pick vase, which is the remix of the PLActron Vase Delta that was fixed for a certain height, which was 130 millimeters or 13 centimeters. So this is that print. And we actually downloaded this from the REMIX section from the exact same posting from Thingiverse. And the settings for this, basically what I did was I opened up my factory file for the PLActron and I dropped this file into it and I hit print. Basically I hit slice and then I hit print. And at first I thought, well, you know what, before we save this off, let's scale it up, because at 13 centimeters you're talking about this big. It's kind of small, which would have been a good test file. But I want to scale the geometry. I have a gMax 1.5 XT Plus, and I'm always scaling things up because I like to gMaxSize it. So let's not go all the way with an 8-hour print. Let's do a couple hours. So this is 200% of the original size. So this is 26 centimeters or 260 millimeters, I think. I don't think it's that big. But anyway, this is 200%. And the print only took about 2.5 hours. We used the exact same settings. The only thing I changed as far as the settings go was print speed. The original was printed out at, I believe, 35 or 40 millimeters per second. This was printed out at exactly 40 millimeters per second. I remember it exactly because I said it. So I think it may have been printing just a tad faster, which would have affected the geometry even more if there was still a problem with it. So once the print finished, I took a close inspection, and I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I'll try and turn it a little bit. But we have the development of a ripple, which if I scale this up to gMaxSize, which in this instance would probably be about 400%, that ripple would be magnified and it would look very similar to the PLActron Vase Delta. So the file is really the problem. It's the geometry. It has to be the geometry. And at this point, 2 fails and I bail. I'm not going to reprint this again. There's no way. I mean, if somebody sends me a file and said, I printed this on a gMax printer and I sliced it in Simplify 3D, here's perfected G code, you'll have a perfect print, I might print it. But at this point, 2 fails and I bail. So that's pretty much it for the PLActron Vase or the guitar pick vase. If you feel like downloading and printing it, I'll put the link down in the description so you guys can download and print it yourself. But I'm pretty disappointed. It basically did the exact same thing at a smaller scale. I did see some rippling and some independent problem, different from the PLActron vase, different from this PLActron vase, which is that the seam itself was actually starting to fail. The same problem was happening where it looked like some of the perimeters were going off the reservation at the seam in base mode. So I'm done with it. I'm not going to print that again. I actually had something I was going to print for today, but it failed, and I'll show you. Full disclosure, this is Matterhackers Pro Series PLA white, and this is the low polygon lighthouse on a rock. And that's as far as the print got. When I woke up this morning, there was a spider web on top, and as you can see, there's all kinds of under extrusion problems going on. I had multiple processes set up. This was going along just fine. The rest of the print looks really, really good. But as soon as it got to the houses and the lighthouse, under extrusion, extruder clicking, lack of filament feed, you name it, something was going wrong, and there was a spider web at the top of, just ruined filament. So I'm probably going to queue this up in Magenta, because I've got Magenta already loaded in the machine. I've already got the file set up. I'm very confident it had nothing to do with my G code or the file itself, because this is from a very reliable model maker. This is basically the low poly version of the Lighthouse on a Rock. Everybody's printed the Lighthouse on a Rock model. If you haven't, I'm sure you've seen prints of it. It's a super popular model on both Thingiverse and My Mini Factory. I've actually even seen it on the front page of both of those websites. So this is the low poly version that he created, and I really wanted to create because I like low poly. And he also made it hollow on the inside so you could put lights in it. So we're going to queue that up right now, and we're going to let that run during the day, and we're going to use Matterhackers Pro Series Magenta, and hopefully we won't have the same problem that we had here, and we'll talk about that print tomorrow. Well, that about wraps it up for day 269 of the 3DP 365 project. If you're looking for ways to support the channel, check out the affiliate links down in the description. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and share those videos, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully with a successful print of the low poly Lighthouse on a Rock.